What I've come up with is a formula for weighing your deer with a tape measure. Take your tape measure, wrap it around, and measure the circumference around the chest. Don't have to go super tight, but just snug. And Beeves is 43 inches here. Here's my formula for weighing your deer with a tape measure. Circumferences cubed first. That number divided by 425 will give you the dressed weight. Circumferences cubed divided by 375 will give you the live weight. If you have your real deer, now we'll do a rundown of it. The 10-point buck that Ryan got this year, this is the calculation for his deer. Beeves' buck was 43 inches times 43 times 43, and that'll equal 79,507. We'll take the 79,507 and we'll divide that by 425, and that will equal a dressed weight. If we wanted live weight, we'd do the same thing divided by 375, and that'll equal a live weight. So when we put it to practice, the number works right out after dividing to 187 pounds, and Beeves' deer weighed 188.
188.5.
Nope.
Nice buck.
What we're trying to do is develop and try it, practice it throughout the season to see if maybe it changes as the rut progresses, to see if it's different between bucks and does and also with fawns, and see if this constant number is the one that would work the best. We've done about 25 of them, and it seems that this 425 really seems to be the accurate part of it. Now they developed this formula very similar for bass, where you take the length and the girth and you divide that by a constant and it'll give you the weight of the fish. I always had it when I was a kid. We would take a cattle tape measure and wrap it around a live cow, and when we closed it up, it said exactly what that would weigh. The constants between a Holstein and a Guernsey and a Jersey are going to be a little bit different, but there's somewhat of a margin of error, probably of 3-4 pounds one way or the other. But if you don't have the ability to weigh your deer and we come up with a good formula, you'll be able to just measure it, do the math, and find out yourself what your deer weighs in the field. I'd also love to develop a constant for moose, maybe caribou, sheep, something like that. This seems to be in the ballpark and we just want to try it. So if you get a deer this year and you want to just experiment with this, and especially if you've weighed it, now you can compare the weight and the actual scaling with what you get on the measurement. Now, this was developed around taking out the heart, the lungs, the liver, all your fluids that are inside of the deer, but it did leave the body parts on, down between the legs. We left those 2 parts on. So if that makes a difference, we'll see. It's probably a pound or 2, but it seems to come just within a pound or so of the real thing. You guys give it a try and let me know how it works on some of your deer, and maybe we can really fine tune that little part of the equation right there and get this figured out. And it'll allow you to weigh your deer in just a little while out in the field, back at camp, in the back of the truck. You'll have a ballpark figure of what you got there. And I also want to see if it changes over time, especially, or changes from areas. We've measured deer from Maine, deer from Vermont and New York so far, and it's been consistent with those 3 states. I'd love to see maybe how the Canadian deer work out. So we're going to be kind of checking this and working through this formula, but if this is something that you're interested in, definitely do it, share it with your friends, and let's see how this works out. I think we're on to something here. We'll see.